Hi guys, my name is Mayana. Welcome to Core. Today is going to be the start of a new weekly reading vlog. This update is probably going to be a little long because we have a lot to discuss, and by we I mean me. First things first, I know if you watched my last vlog, then I said I have a bunch of vlogs planned for first quarter, and I did have some vlogs planned for this month, but I made my Black History Month TBR and then also what I want to read for this month TBR because I'm trying to get better at reading series, and there's no way that I could read my Black History Month TBR, my series TBR, and the TBR for these like experimental vlogs. I'm going to be pushing them back to next month, so I decided that this month I'm just going to get back into my weekly reading vlogs. I don't think anybody minds. I don't think anyone's going to be like, damn, no experimental vlog for Mayana. Like just wanted to say that just in case you were wondering or you're waiting on some videos to come out this month, so I just pushed them back until next month. My February new releases vlog isn't going to come out until March anyways, because the month ends on the 28th, as we all know, and none of the books are coming out until the 27th. Why the fuck would you do that? You're pissing me off. You're pissing me off. Also, something for you guys to know is that I do reading sprints every Sunday, or at least I'm starting to build that up. I really miss my community and going live all the time, and I really miss the community of just doing reading sprints. Like, I know everyone has like a Patreon now, and I had a Patreon at one point, but it's just like hiding my videos behind a paywall. And like, if you are a booktuber and you love that, or your favorite booktuber has a Patreon or more content and love that for them, I'm not against it. People work really hard, and I believe that they deserve to get exactly what they're working for. Just for me personally, I don't like it. Let's get into what I'm currently reading, because I have discovered the joys and the wonders of reading a bunch of books at once. And I came upon this on accident, because when I was doing my booktuber vlogs and stuff like that, I'm such a mood reader where it's like within a day I want to read something else. Like, I don't stick to wanting to read something for too long. So even though I was excited for that vlog, like, I know y'all saw the vlog, and by I think Bright Young Women, I just got tired of the vlog and I wanted to read what I wanted to read, and I enjoyed the books and stuff like that. So then I started reading like things that I wanted to read, and that really helped me push through the video. I started getting into high fantasy again. I missed it so much, y'all. But I've been watching like high fantasy booktubers, and I've been watching like author interviews. I've never watched no damn author interviews before, but it actually gave me such insight on like these authors and like why they write the way that they write. And like, I feel like I can go into these books with like a different outlook on these people. And so I'm reading a bunch of high fantasy right now. But if you watch me for like other content and you're like, girl, I don't give a fuck high fantasy, hold your horse, because you know I read a little bit of everything. Like yesterday, I just finished a horror book. Just know that in this vlog, I probably won't be solely only reading just high fantasy. Like, I'm probably gonna find a random ass book to pick up and then read that shit. We just get into what I'm currently reading. So we'll start with my Kindle books first. So I started Lilith's Brood, which is the first book is Dawn. Can't tell you where I'm at in this book because this is an omnibus, so it's all the books in one. So it says I'm at 10%, but I know damn well I made it further than that. But Dawn by Octavia E. Butler, I read Parable of Talents early this month, and I really enjoyed it. It was like the first half of the book, I was just like getting into it. I'm like, okay, like whatever. Then that 50% mark, boom, I was like, oh fuck, she's not playing. I heard this was a freaky little alien book. I was like, let me get into this. So this is about this woman who wakes up in a ship. Like, she wakes up in a room and she doesn't know what's going on. And the first half of the book, she's like keeps waking up and she doesn't know what the fuck is going on. She's like theorizing like, what has happened to me, until finally she wakes up for good and realizes that she has been like abducted by aliens. No, it's not abducted, because it, like, even though it was against her will, that's abduction, girl. I'm trying to be like, well, that's abduction. If you didn't want it, that's abduction. So yeah, she was abducted by aliens. Like, Earth was at a war and like a lot of people died, so they just saved as many people from Earth as they could, because they have been watching Earth for a long time. They like know how to speak their languages. They like know. I do find this book interesting because they like having normal conversation, and like they know what certain words mean. And I don't like reading first contact alien books because I question too much. And like, I'm just like, okay, but how do you know aliens are like this? Okay, but what? And it's like, I'm too particular about them because I keep questioning, which you're supposed to question things, right? This book is about like humanity and what does it mean to be a human, and like all these things that I'm liking. But every now and then, like, they would name something and I'm like, how the fuck did you come up with that name? or like did you research this? Like, but then after Parable of the Talents, I should not question Octavia E. Butler because clearly she knows something that I don't. I was watching a video and it said that Octavia Butler literally just said, look at the past and history and you'll be able to tell the future. I really love that, but I genuinely think she knows something I don't know. Then I'm reading Guards by Terry Pratchett. I got into Terry Pratchett this month. When I say this month, I'm talking about January because the video is going to go up in February, by the way. I got into Terry Pratchett this month. I started with Small Gods, and if you don't know, this is a series called Discworld. It is about this disc that is a world, and it's on the back of an elephant. 4 elephants, and then the 4 elephants are on the back of a huge turtle floating through space. So this follows that world, and there's a bunch of different series, there's a bunch of different books. It's like 43 books long. I am getting into longer series this year, so I have my 4 longer series that I'm reading, and then I have like mini trilogies that I want to read. So like when I think of long series, I mean like either they're 40 books long period, or they're all one big series set in the same world, like Robin Hood, the Realm of the Elderly. So even though it's like different trilogies, there's still one big series. So I'm focusing on 4 of those, and then mini trilogies, that way I can finish stories. But I can't start a new series unless I finish one of them. So, but right now I picked like a bunch of long ones, so I don't know when I'm going to be moving on anytime soon. But I really need to get better at series this year, so I'm coming up with a bunch of plans to like try and get better at it. But I'm reading Guards. This is the first and the Watch series, and I was watching another booktube yesterday, and she said that she could have just read them in publication order, and that way like it was a mystery of like what she got next. And I think I want to do that. Like I think I want to read it in publication order, so that way what I come across next is just like a mystery, and that way I can get like a better idea of like the characters. Also, I bought like 4 books in this series, and it's none of the part of the series that I read. So if I read it in publication order, that way I can read the books that I already own, and that can already be knocked off my TBR. I love that idea. And then I'm reading Wheel of Time. I'm on The Great Hunt. I'm almost done with this. I literally have 150 pages left. I started watching this TV show last year. I think it's okay, but the second season, dude, like the ending of the second season, I don't know, it was just like so crazy. It wasn't crazy, but it was crazy, and like it did something for me. There was like a kidnapping plotline. Like I really don't fuck with kidnapping plotlines, but there's this character that I didn't necessarily love, and that plotline just made me love her so much. I'm so sorry, but I do think my characters do need to go through something for me to love them. I'm sorry. Not all the time, but it definitely was needed in this case. I've been reading this because I know that I think season 1, people said that season 1 was book 1, but I think it's book 1 and book 2. I can't remember. I watched it all at once, so I can't remember what. But I think season 1 is book 1, and then season 2 is 2 and 3, and then season 3 is coming out in March, and that'll be 4 and 5. So I'm trying to get to book 5 before it comes out in March. But I probably won't even watch it as soon as it comes out. But I still want to read. I still want to work on getting there, right? So far this book is like fine. Luckily I watched the TV show to like help me think about things, but clearly from the TV show I did not know what the fuck was going on. So luckily I have this book, so it's like I kind of have a balance of both. Like this helps me explain things that were going on, and I think like yes, this book was like fine, but I realized that I love these characters. This book actually helped me love a character more than what I was feeling for her in the TV show, because I don't know why, but like because in the TV show, I believe she was introduced a little bit late, and like I had already grown fond to like the group, and I do not like new people in TV shows. I don't know what it, like, even with like Love Island, I don't know how I watch Love Island every summer, because every time I have a bombshell, I get pissed, and they be like the nicest, sweetest girl ever, and it takes me so long to warm up to them. So she was like a bombshell, but in all seriousness, no, she wasn't. And so in the book, she's kind of reads like, I don't know, Maya core. Like she's very much eldest sister core. Like she's not an eldest sister, but she is a wisdom, and a wisdom is like a woman who helps like heal and like take care of things. I just really love her in this book, and I really love these characters. I really felt these characters. Running out of time, I've been talking too much. I need to talk about my last book that I'm currently reading, which is Death of Swords. This is another long series that I am going to be starting. It's going to be Wheel of Time, Death of Swords, Realm of the Elderling, and Discworld. I don't know how I forgot that. So Death of Swords, I start this off. This is about these 2 guys, and they are like the it boys. Like they're like the bandits or whatever, and like people know not to fuck with them. I've only read 1 chapter, and the chapter started off with these guys who are like bandits, and they're like trying to like rob them, and then the 2 guys are named Hadrian and Royce, and they're like, you don't really know what you're doing, girl. Like I can tell that y'all are fake. And they're like, we're Rhea, and they're like, oh shit, Rhea. This just feels like, I don't know, it's not too hard to read. I know a lot of people don't like this because of how easy it is. I personally love it, especially with all these other high fantasies that I'm reading. Like, I don't like, the Wheel of Time is hard. Like, it is hard to get through, but I've been pushing through it because I really want to get through book 3. But it is hard to get, like, it's not complex, not hard in the sense that like I don't understand it, but there's so many characters, there's so much to know about like the magic and stuff like that. And I was like, I should have watched a refresher before I went into this, but I just jumped into it, so that also might be why it was a little hard. So anyways, I've started Theft of Swords. It's like super simple, like it's not too complex, like it's just these two guys who are like, I don't know what the fuck they're called. They're like thieves or whatever. And they're like the thieves. And so I think they're going to be accused of like stealing something. And then that's going to like, I don't know. I don't fucking know, girl. I haven't read the book. I only read 1 chapter. But I read it last night and I was obsessed. Does anybody else, when they read a book and they like, oh yeah, like I immediately start this off and I'm like, oh yeah, I fuck with this book heavy. Like I can see this book being 5 stars. Do you guys ever do that and then you just stop reading and you like go on like TikTok or something like that? Like you're like, oh, I'm obsessed with this book, and then you just put it down? Or is that just me? That happens to me a lot. Like I'm like, oh, I'm obsessed with this chapter, and then I'll put it down. It's like I gotta prepare myself for it. But yeah, my camera's about to overheat. I've been talking for so long. I am so sorry. This vlog is about to be long. I'm about to have so much to edit down. But that's okay. I like these long vlogs. I think they're fun. I'll be back when I finish something. I don't fucking know. I feel like in all of my vlogs, I just come in wearing this hoodie. But low-key, it's not even that, it's low-key, it's always cold in my house, but I feel like right now that shirt that I have on is just way too revealing. I don't need any type of slip-ups. I do not need to end up on any weird websites again. So to be safe, I'm gonna throw this hoodie on as much as I can. Anyways, I just finished The Great Hunt. I have to make sure this is the right one. And I gave this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed the ending. The ending was one of my favorite plot lines in the book. It's the reason why in the show I ended up loving Egwene so much, because I feel like she had a lot of like character growth and it gave her a lot of like character depth. And it was just like so much going on, and it was just like, that's what I really want from this series, and that's what I'm hoping that book 4 is. Not that plot specifically, but just like how everything was moving, and like, I don't know, it was just so good. I feel like the only thing about this series that holds me back is the fact that like this world is set in a world where like women have all the power and like men don't, and that sounds great to me, but the fact that it was written by a man still kind of just makes me go, you know, because the point is that there's gonna be a guy who is the Dragon Reborn, and he is gonna be like the cause of like destruction, which sounds cool, but then it's like you have that whole like, yes, it's the chosen one trope, but I guess I don't know how to put into words why I think it's so like to me. When I first was getting into the series, like TV show and book, like I was into it. I didn't mind it actually, but the more lines I read, I'm just like, this is just, I don't know. I guess I don't know how the words, I don't have the right words for it. I'm immediately jumping into The Dragon Reborn. I'm really excited for that. Well, not immediately, because I have another book that I want to finish. I have 2 other books that I need to work on through the night. But I'll probably try and read, how many pages is this? This is 658 pages. I think this is like shorter than this one. I read this on my Kindle and physically, like I went back and forth. So, but when I finished it on my Kindle, so I don't know how many pages this had. Oh, this has 698. Yeah. How many pages did I say that this had? 650. Okay, yeah, so this one is a little bit less more than that one. So I was reading 200 pages a day for about a week since Monday, and then one day, like today, I just had to read like 150. I think I read a little bit more than I should have yesterday. For The Dragon Reborn, I don't think that I have to do that. I think I can just read 100 pages a day, and then maybe if I want to, like the last day of the week, I can just read like 200 pages. But I can move a lot slower with this one, only because I really wanted this done in February. Like I wouldn't have rushed it, but I really just wanted this done in February, so that's the only reason why I like was reading 200 pages a day. But honestly, they flew by so fast, and I actually had to like stop myself from finishing it too quickly, because I didn't want people to be like, how did you finish that so fast, you know? So I'm really excited to get into this one. I love these characters so much. They're such like a family to me, and I feel like in the show I was like really disconnected from these characters, but in the book I just felt it a lot more obviously. And like in the show they're written well, but it's just something about having the show and the book that just really like I but the book's writing of these characters, like Nana Neve is one of my favorite characters, and like in the book she kind of reads a little bit more stuck up than in the show, but I like that, I think. And I like that she kind of has this eldest sister role, and maybe that's why I like her, because it shows more in the books. I'm really excited to get into this. I forgot I needed to charge my camera, so I'm gonna try to keep this quick. I finished 2 books. I finished Dawn by Octavia E. Butler and Guard Scars by Terry Pratchett. I actually finished Dawn like earlier. I didn't even wake up until like 4 p.m. today, y'all. Like I originally woke up at 1. No, I originally woke up at 12, and I was like, not feeling her, and then I went back to sleep. But I was up all night trying to finish Dawn, and then I was trying to finish Guard Scars, but I was like, that's not gonna happen. So then I started reading Theft of Swords, and I got a little bit further into this, and I'm really liking this. But like I said, I finished Dawn. I gave Dawn 4.5 out of 5 stars. I don't think I'm gonna continue on with the series because I found out that the series followed other characters, and although I do think this is good, I'm just not a big series person, so I just want to continue on with series that I love. And even though I really enjoyed this book, I just feel like the story can stop there for me. Like I'm not really a huge like companion novel person, and I'm so positive that the story touches on so much more than that. But I really like what the story, who the story followed, like what it focused on, how weird it was. I know it gets weirder, and I'm a little scared because I did see how weird it can get in the last book, and I'm a little scared. So I'm like, I kind of just want to, and I might go in the future, I might want to come back and finish the series. So I'm not saying it's done forever for now or whatever. And then also I read Guard Scars by Terry Pratchett. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I will be continuing on the story. I really love this one. I thought it was a lot of fun. It had everything you can ask for. It had dragons, dungeon, magic, a magical library, like the likable characters, a cult. Like it was just insane. The prose were amazing. Like there were so many quotes that like I ended up underlining and things like that. Like I just absolutely loved it. Next I'm going to be starting The Color of Magic, which I'm excited for because this one's a little bit shorter. These are the books that I am going to be reading tonight. Love this. I'm loving my high fantasy era, you guys. And then I do need to start Principle of Moments because I'm buddy reading this with a group of friends that I have that I made on Book Talk, and so we're going to be starting this tonight, but I'm not going to start this until after 12. I'm friends. I hope she's okay with me calling us friends because I view us as friends, but I'm friends with the author. I adore her. She's so gorgeous. I've been meaning to pick this up. I've been meaning to get into her writing. Look at the fucking the cover is stunning. Like it's everything that I've been asking for. Is literally like sci-fi. Y'all know sci-fi is my favorite genre, and it's like Doctor Who meets Star Wars. And I know what the author is talking about, like when she says Doctor Who, because she wrote for Doctor Who, so I know that this is actually gonna give those vibes. But that's all I've been wanting for. Those are my 2 like most recent obsessions. It's like Star Wars and Doctor Who. So this is my reading choice for the night. Obviously I'm probably not gonna finish anything, but I do want to get far and a good chunk of these. And usually what I do is I'll probably just read like 100 pages of each, and then I do like a little merry-go-round. I read like 100 pages of The Wheel of Time, and then 100 pages of Discworld, and then 100 pages of the next book, and then whatever going in that circle, just 100 pages, and then whatever I finish first, I finish first. And I'm really liking that so far, and I really hope that I can keep this up. I made my February TBR. This is also some of it, but like still not all of it. I still have some other ones. We shall see what I get to. I might get to my February wrap-up, and we might not recognize any of these books here. Knowing me, I'm such a mood reader. I'm trying to work on it this year. I'm trying to get better at my series. I'm trying to get better at reading what I need to read. My problem is that I'll see a book, like I'll be watching a booktube video and someone will be talking about it, and I'll be like, ooh, that sounds good, I want to read it. And then I'll read it, and it's like it will be like a 3-star read, and it's like I wasted my time reading this book when I had so many other books that I was excited for and picked out myself that I know I would love. Or like something will become popular and I'm like, oh, this is gonna become popular, I want to read it. And that's not all the time. Sometimes I'll read something that someone recommends and it's 4 stars, but I literally did it like 2 nights ago. Like I literally was like watching Katie from Katie's Reading, and she was talking about this book called Nothing But the Rain, and it sounded so good. I ended up giving it 3 stars. It's literally about this town that loses their memory every time it rains. And it was an okay book. Like, it was fun. I really liked the idea. I just wish that the execution was better and that it ended a little bit differently. But, like, it was fine. And I'm like, I had this whole TBR of things that I could have read. But that was, like, 90 pages, so it really didn't matter. My battery's dying, so. Happy Black History Month to those who celebrate. I actually don't have, like, a reading update. I just kind of wanted to give an update, period. Last night I recorded my wrap up and I did an ASMR wrap up, which I'm really excited about. I love ASMR. It has been something I've been watching for years. I think I've been watching ASMR for 5 years now, and I've been wanting to do my own ASMR videos. I actually did do one on Mayana Reads. I did an ASMR reading after smut, and that video actually is my best video on that channel. It blew up over time, which I think is so crazy. And I don't know if it was because it was funny or because of the ASMR, because ASMR does do well. Like, it took me an hour to film because my camera overheats and like all this stuff, and I had 28 books to get through. But I really like that format because I can talk for a long time and I don't have to edit out a lot. Like, I don't have to edit out my awkward breaths. I kind of want to edit out my ums, but I don't want to edit too much. Like, when I'm watching ASMR, I don't really notice if anyone edits things out or not. For books, I didn't read anything last night, obviously, and I didn't start anything today because I literally woke up. I do think I want to read Pet by Okweke Imezi, and then I'm gonna try to start 100 pages of all of my books that I want to read. So that's kind of what I want to do today. I'm not focusing on finishing anything today. I don't think that I will. If I do, it'll probably be Pet by Okweke Imezi because it is 200 pages and it is quick. Actually, I haven't vlogged all day. I did my Sunday live streams. I've been going live every Sunday for the past 3 weeks now. Every Sunday at 3, and I do my homework on the weekends, and so Sundays is just a way for me to like make sure I get it done. And I usually go live from like 3 to like 9, so for about 6 hours. So I got my homework done today, as I do every weekend. I had a lot of homework. I usually do my homework Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So like, I leave all my discussion posts for Sunday, and then Friday and Saturday I do like tests and assignments, and then discussion posts Sunday. And then I started reading I Am Legend because I was watching Grapey on TikTok, and she talked about the difference between I Am Legend, the book and the movie. And I think either I've never seen it before, or I've seen it when I was younger, I don't know, y'all. I can't tell you. Same with iRobot. I have like memories of watching them, but I don't remember. I actually want to do like a movie night tonight or tomorrow night where I watch I Am Legend and iRobot. But she talked about the difference, and it just sounded so cool. Like, the book sounded so cool, and then I was like looking it up, and it was on Kindle Unlimited, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's on Kindle Unlimited. So I started that. I'll be done with that soon. And then I also started this sapphic, y'all, why did I start this sapphic book? It was called, fuck, I forgot what it was called. I'm so sorry, y'all. The author was like Vera Winters, and it was like a cozy romance, which low-key, when I started, I didn't realize that it was supposed to be like a cozy romance. So I'm like reading it, and I'm like, this book feels off. Like, something about this book just does not feel like, it doesn't have any like passion. It doesn't have like that feeling that like a book has when it's written by a human. Like, I'm like, this is like, I'm like, ain't no fucking way I'm reading an AI. Like, I'm like, I'm like, this is weird. So I go to Goodreads and everybody's saying it's AI, like written by AI, and the cover is AI. I couldn't tell the cover was AI because I got the book like literally on my Kindle, because you can, you know, you can get books from the homepage on Kindle, like what they recommended to you. So I got this because they recommended it to me, and I was like, oh, this looks, I love the color, this looks good. Like, also from the black and white one, the characters look black. So I was like, period. Then I started reading it, and I'm like, this don't feel like, something feels missing. Like, it doesn't have any like emotion. Like, it feels emotionless. I read the reviews, I'm looking at the cover, I'm like, that's definitely fucking AI. Somebody confirmed it and was like, you cannot find a link to the artist anywhere. You should always be able to find a link to the artist no matter what the book is. And other people were like, it's written AI, and I'm like, this is fucking crazy, bro. Like, this is fucking crazy. So I DNF'd that. I didn't get too far in it. I didn't even read a full chapter. Like, it was something like, when I was reading it, I was like, something about this just does not feel right. So I didn't even finish the chapter. And then I started reading Seducing Sculla. Listen, the author told you how to pronounce it. I just don't understand. Like, I'm gonna pronounce it how I want to pronounce it. So Seducing Sculla. And this one's about this girl who was like going on this like vacation or whatever, this trip or something, and she ends up getting abducted by this dude, and then like she ends up running into like this like creature that's like a mermaid type of thing, and then they end up realizing that they're mates. So that's how they get together. And I be forgetting that monster romance is insta love, and that be fucking me up. That's where I fuck up at. I forget that, and I gotta really be in the mood for monster romances. And I was like, I've been missing them because I haven't read one in a minute, and I just reminded myself as to why I haven't read one in a minute, because monster romances are so insta loving. Literally just went, you're my mate, oh my gosh, and then like there was like it was plot. It wasn't like, I'm not gonna say it didn't have a plot or anything like that. It just like and the main character was like kind of annoying, and I hate when authors do that thing where they make the character like a reader. Like there's this scene where something happens, she's like, no, this isn't one of your books. I hate when authors try to appeal to readers. Like, I think it just pisses me off. Like, every time a character mentions something about reading, I don't want to read the book anymore. Like, to be honest, like, it's not that serious, but it is serious because I know what you're doing. You're trying to get me to be able to relate to the character because I'm a reader. Because obviously, if I'm reading a book, I'm a reader. So you're trying to get me to relate to this character, and instead of making them actually relatable and something that somebody would like, you think, oh, well, they're obviously readers, they're going to be able to relate to that, or I'm going to make a little funny joke about readers. Every book does that. You don't have to. You really don't have to. Like, you really can leave it be. Like, you can leave it alone. So yeah, I gave it 3 stars. Yeah, so I'm gonna finish, I want to call it Hancock so bad. I'm gonna finish I Am Legend, and then I'm gonna get back into my books for the night. I have my pages to read of my other books that I'm currently reading, so I need to get into that. Believe it or not, it's actually a new day. I had a pretty long day today. I didn't wake up until like 4, and then when I woke up immediately I started reading a little bit of The Boyfriend Project, and I only read a few pages of this. And then I like got up and like got my day started, and I had to do the dishes and I had to do grocery shop today. So I listened to The Color of Magic, but then Mika FaceTimed me, so I FaceTimed her while I like grocery shopped and stuff. Oh, I finished I Am Legend last night, by the way. But yeah, Mika FaceTimed me, but then the call ended, so while I was putting the groceries up and stuff, I finished this, and then I called her back. So I'm gonna talk about this. And while I was at the grocery store, I really want to get back into baking from scratch. I bake all the time. I bake every day almost, but I haven't baked from scratch in months. So today I'm gonna try to make some cookies. And I got the Ghirardelli, the chocolate bar, and I'm gonna like chop that up and like put that, because I've always wanted to do that, like have chocolate chips and then chopped up chocolate bar chunks. Like, I just feel like it's gonna come out so good. So yeah, I got some muffins to make. I got some cocoa powder to make mug brownies, or my half brownie half chocolate chip cookies that I love to make. I really want to make those. Last night I finished I Am Legend. I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. I thought the ending was like really good. I actually feel like no matter, like, I know the ending to I Am Legend and it just feels so disappointing. Somebody said, I was reading reviews and somebody said that the movie was better than the book, and the way that the book ended, I just don't see that happening. Like, with knowing the ending to the movie, I just don't see that being true. Like, I mean, yes, the book kind of was, I find books where it just follows one singular person on a journey, I do find them kind of boring, but this was like really quick, and he does run into people from like time to time, and it's about like vampires and stuff like that. And I really just wanted to, I want to compare them both and to understand like why the director took the choices that he took, because like, why did you make them zombies instead of vampires? Like, vampires just make so much more sense, and the ending was just so much more iconic to me. So I really want to compare those two, but I gave it 3.5 out of 5 stars. Also, why was there a random slur drop in there? Why was randomly identifying somebody as a Negro? You could have called them, like, I know this was written like maybe like the late 80s 90s or something like that, but you could have just said black person. You didn't have to say the Negro said. What? What? Then I finished The Color of Magic. I started this the beginning of the month, This is the first book in the Discworld series, like the first book ever like written in Discworld series, and this follows Rincewind, who is a failed magician. Like he was supposed to be a magician, but then he failed, and Two Fingers, who is this doe-eyed boy who wants to discover more of this world because the city that he's from is kind of like our world. And so I cannot pronounce the name of the city that this book takes place. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm not even gonna try. Where this takes place, and it's just about like, it's like a tourist, and he's like a tourist, and Rinceworld is just like showing him around, and they're like, it has dragons and it has magic and it has like my favorite things about Discworld. But unfortunately, I just like was struggling to find I was just struggling to find this one very interesting, especially because I had read Small Gods and Guards first, and like they just meant so much to me, and like they were just so funny and so good. And this one is funny and good too, but it's like the plot is kind of hard to pinpoint in this story. But this book picks up right where this one left off, and I think this one has more of a plot. Also, a character that I haven't been talked about but I really want to mention is Death. I think Death is so entertaining and like interesting. I'm so excited to get to his books. And I know I was watching like I think I was watching like an old Daniel Green video about like a review of The Color of Magic and the Light Fantastic, because I knew that these books aren't as like raved about as the other ones, and so I was like really nervous. So I just wanted to see, like, I was looking up reviews, but there aren't a lot. So I was watching his, and he pointed out that Death is kind of like Bob from Bob's Burgers, and ever since then I can't unsee it. And he's like very like dry humor, monotone, like his character, you know when Death is talking because there's no quotation marks, but it's in all caps, and I think that's so funny and entertaining. So I love seeing Death whenever he shows up. But now thinking of him as Bob's from Bob's Burgers, this makes it so much more entertaining to me. But yeah, I'm really excited to get into the Light Fantastic, and luckily these ones are under 300 pages, so if I locked in, I could finish this tonight. I could be done with this, and then I could be on to Equal Rights, which I am really excited for. Okay? But I mean, I'm excited for all of them. I'm loving my Discworld journey, to be honest, and I'm so glad that I can get into like these books that I own now too. It's a new day. I haven't vlogged in like a day. I think this vlog, I didn't vlog like every single day because I started super early, and then I finally picked that I want my vlogs to be uploaded on Sundays. I really just love like that vibe. The book that I read was The Boyfriend Project. I ended up giving this book 3 out of 5 stars. I liked it, but I have one big issue with this book, and it's an issue that cannot be fixed. It's not my problem, it's not the author's problem. The main character, love interest name, same name as my brother. Couldn't do it. I didn't realize that. I read the other 2 books in this series like 2 years ago, and I love them, and I knew I wasn't gonna like this one, but then this one was gifted to me, so obviously I wanted to read it because I don't want to not read books that are gifted to me. So I finally just gave in and read it, and I do like the other 2 books more. The second book being my favorite in the series. I love that one. This one was good, and I love the backstory to them, and I love their friendship. Like, that's what made this book good for me, is the friendship. I think the romance was like very like subpar. It didn't bring anything new to the table. Luckily, the book has so much like going on. I love like the girlhood and the friendship that they had. I didn't explain what this book is about. I'm so sorry. Boyfriend Project is about this girl who finds out that the guy that she was seeing was cheating on her with 2 other girls. One of the girls was live tweeting their date. Main character's sister was like reading her the tweets, and then she was like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. This sound familiar to y'all? This sounds familiar. She ends up going to the restaurant because she knew exactly where he took her, and then another girl pops up. So it's like, okay, not your only 2-timing, but you're 3-timing, bitch. Like, what? So then they end up becoming friends, and if I hadn't already read the second 2 books, I would have thought that circumstance is weird. I don't think there's anything wrong with becoming friends with someone that your guy cheated on you with, but I just always realized that those type of sisterhoods don't always like last. So I was like, I was really like, do I really feel like this is realistic? I don't know. But I thought the friendships were great. So I'm gonna be giving this 3 stars, and I need to get the other 2 books in the series now. Now that I'm very happy that I finally read this because I've owned it for such a long time. And then onto my stack. Here's my stack. This is what I'm reading. You're probably like, girl, these are the same books that you were reading a few days ago. And you would be correct. So basically, usually what I'll do is I'll read during the day. I'll start a book when I wake up, and then I'll be reading it throughout the day. Or I'll start a book, like I started this like the 3rd, and I'll start reading like 100 pages a day. So I don't always finish a book a day. What should I tell people? It's not about how much you read in a day or the time that you have to read. It's just about reading every day. If you read every day, you will be able to finish so many pages. And so sometimes for me, I read the first half of the book one day and then the next half another day. For this book in particular, I read 100 pages a day. Usually I'll read like a book during the day, a few pages during the day, and then at nighttime I'll read from my stack. I'll read a few pages from each book from my stack. So today I want this to be a reading day where I read from my stack. So I really want to get through, I need to get to 100 pages of The Principle of Moments, because in my buddy read, I split up the pages like 100 pages a week. And though you don't have to read the 100 pages every week, we just want to be able to discuss like Saturday, like those 100 pages, just so it makes it easier for us or whatever. So I want to get 100 pages in. This is good so far. I've read 35 pages. I liked it. I just was like slowing my pace down because I know I read fast, and if I really fuck with this book, I'm gonna read it all in like a day or 2. So I really just wanted to like give everybody else a chance to like start and get into the book. I think this is gonna be low priority. I just finished The Color of Magic. These are super short. I also do want to kind of crochet today. I haven't crocheted in so while, and like I feel crochet guilt. So if I do crochet, this is the audiobook that I'm gonna listen to because these are on YouTube. But those are ifs. Who knows? We'll see. I haven't read any of my pages. I am like 400 pages behind at this point, so I'm not gonna rush myself. I'm not gonna try and read 400 pages. That's fucking insane. I'm just gonna try to read as much as I want to this until I guess I get bored or whatever, and if I hit 400, great. If I don't, fine. But my main focus today is Death of Slurs. I'm really excited for this. I really want to get on this series. I want to be on like book fucking 3 by now. I want to get to 100 pages into this, and remember, this book is 2 books in 1, so I want to read the first book today or tomorrow. I want to be done with the first book today or tomorrow, and then be done with the second book, and then this whole book be done. So those are my goals for this book. Really hope that I complete this series, because I want to start doing series reviews where I just review. Obviously it sounds simple. Like, I want to do series reviews, so I want to start reviewing my series after I read them, because I wanted to do that when I read Shadowhunter Chronicles. I start reviewing them in like trilogies, because they're written in trilogies, and then like they didn't get a lot of views, so I kind of just like, okay, I give up, and I also unlisted them. But looking back at it, like, I go back and I watch that video. Like, I want to be able to like know my thoughts about how I felt about a series when I read it, especially because I'm not good at reading series. So the more I finish series, the more accomplished I'm gonna feel, and I'm gonna feel better about myself. So I want to just start reviewing them. And also, I want, like, you might want to read them. I'll be back later. I guess I could be back later. Okay, so let me give y'all a little reading corner tour. So this is my little like reading corner that I've come to curate. So back here is where I keep all of my e-devices. I moved this bin to like, because it fits perfectly here, and because I'm always back here, it makes more sense. And I mean, I could just move it throughout my room, to be honest, which is what I love about them. And then I have this Papasan chair pillow. I have a bunch of my pillows. I have a bunch of blankets. I always have a bunch of pillows. I always have a bunch of blankets, because I really love to like prop myself up, but I love to be bundled and warm. And then I have my crochet stuff there. And then this is actually a step stool. I originally bought this to be like a mini table in my room when I'm sitting on my floor, but it was just too high. But now that I have the chair cushion, it like perfectly fits. So I put my stack of books here, my coffee, my phone. I really just love this like stool that I decided to use as a mini table. And at first I regretted it because it went unused, and like, I don't know, sometimes y'all, when you're a hoarder, your hoarding pays off at sometimes. So, and then I have my candles. This is actually my sister candle that I stole, so I need to remember not to use too much of it, because I will leave candles lit all day for the vibes. That candle is actually lit, but it's just nothing's coming out. And then that's a candle. I just have like so many unused candles in my room that I need to just start like, I love bigger candles, and so I'll use like a 3-wick candle, and then I have like these big candle, like these other candles like unused, so I kind of want to use those. Damn, I really need to charge my camera. Okay, so it is Friday, I believe, so I have today and tomorrow, and then this vlog is over. I was editing this vlog and I actually realized I forgot that this vlog has already been like a week long. I didn't vlog a few days because I wanted it to be like a week's worth of vlogs, even though I start this vlog a little bit earlier, if that makes sense. I don't know. I didn't do anything I said I wanted to do yesterday. I did not read at all. I doom scrolled all day. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos. I tried to start like a TV show called Paradise. I'm just not in the mood to watch TV right now because the show Paradise is on Hulu. The first episode was amazing. It mind fucked me. It was already great, and then I got to the end and I was like, whoa. So it was the best plot. It's the best pilot episode I've seen in such a long time, but I genuinely could not sit there and watch the second episode. Like, I was like, I don't want to watch this. Like, I just want to sit and read. And then I doom scrolled all day. But then at nighttime, I finally sat my ass down. Once I turned my ASMR on, like, I just need to start putting my ASMR on more. So once I turned my ASMR on, I got the fuck to reading. So I read, I want to say it's like 80 pages of The Principle of Moments. I'm really liking this so far, but like, I don't know how I feel at the same time. Like, this definitely, I can definitely see where the inspiration of Doctor Who is coming from, and I really love that. And it's very queer. It's very, very gay, actually, and I love that. We follow the two main characters, Obi and Asha. Obi can time travel, and so far in this book, he has been traveling through time, and he has like this love interest. And so the start of the book, you're dealing with like Obi and his like romance or whatever, and then you also follow Asha, and Asha has just discovered that her mom has been lying to her entire life, and that she has a sister, an elder sister, that she now must find because a guy came to her and was like, you have to find your elder sister or I'm gonna kill your mom. Well, actually, he never threatened to kill her mom. He said your mom is gonna die. He never threatened to kill her. And I find that so interesting that Asha keeps saying, he said he was gonna kill you, he said he was gonna kill you. He never said that. He said your mom is gonna die. But I'm very intrigued to like see where the story is going. Also, this takes place in like 2 different timelines. So it takes place in 1812 because Obi is involved with, this place takes place in England, so Obi is involved with the prince. And then you have 6066 and that follows Asha. And so I'm really interested to see like where their timelines are gonna collide. And I just, it feels very Doctor Who. It actually feels like the Obi scenes feels like one of my favorite Doctor Who episodes. It's the episode with David Tennant's Doctor, and it's the one where there's like this clock. He ends up like in this room with this girl, like traveled back in time, and like every time he leaves, like he can enter through the fireplace, and every time he leaves and come back, she's like older. It really reminds me of the episode. And Asha's also reminds me of an episode, but I can't put into words what it is. But like, this is everything that I've been wanting since I watched Doctor Who, and I knew that Esme was gonna give that because she wrote a book for Doctor Who. But like, I just wanted something that felt like a Doctor Who episode, something fun, something epic, because that's what I thought I was gonna get from like Dead Silence. Like, I thought I was gonna get like those spooky episodes of Doctor Who, and it's like, no. And like, this is what I wanted. Like, yes, like Doctor Who but black. Like, yes, like it's well written. Esme's writing is so good. Like, it doesn't try too hard. I hate when like books try too hard to be flowery or, you know, have beautiful prose. You can tell that this is her passion. This is something that she wanted. I absolutely just, like, so far, I'm like literally loving it. Last day of the vlog. Why do I feel like we're at a summer camp and we're about to go home? Everyone's just like, bye, bye. To be honest, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I just turn on the camera and start talking and hope that it makes sense when the words come out. And most of the time they don't. But guess what? Yesterday, I read quite a bit, actually. Did I read as much as I wanted to? No. But I read quite a bit. We just put the bookmark in the right place in this book that I'm reading, and then I will get right back to you, girl. What do I want to start with first? We'll start with what I finished. Last night I finished The Light Fantastic. I forgot how quick these books were. I literally was like, hold on, why is it taking me so long to read this? These books are really quick. Like, I don't know what's taking me so long. So I finished The Light Fantastic. This is the second book in the Discworld series if you're reading in order. So now I can move on to the third book, which I'm really excited for, and that is the start of a new series. I get to finally move on, which I'm super excited. I love these characters, but I'm ready to meet somebody new. And I heard Equal Rights is about a woman, because women aren't supposed to be wizards. I think they can be witches though. And so a woman, a wizard, like heritage is passed down to a woman, I believe, in the second one. I don't know, I haven't started yet. And I don't know, I just thought that was, I just love Terry Pratchett. Like, he's so funny. These fantasy worlds are so amazing. And it's like, I don't know, they're so unique, but like they have classic fantasy tropes while having like, I don't know, they're just so fun and they're amazing. And this is quickly becoming, I think this is my favorite fantasy series like ever. I've only read 4 books in this series and I haven't even had a 5-star yet, but I love all of these so dearly. I just love this world so much. Like, absolutely. So then I read 100 pages of Principle of Moments, and I'm really liking this. There are some things that are just like this book, I never know where this book is going. Like, usually I'm able to kind of figure out like what's gonna happen next, and not like there's not like a bunch of twists or anything like that. I just don't know where these books are going, right? I don't know. So it's something about like this book and this like aesthetic that's just like doing it for me. I'm enjoying this. I don't know how I feel about the characters. I think that Obi might be my favorite character, which is shocker because I don't really like, if there's a woman in the book, I'm gonna like her more. But Asha, she's very young. She's 18, and this book somehow feels like an adult book and a YA book at the same time, and I think it's because of their age difference. I don't remember how old Obi is, but that is like, he travels through time. Like, that's a grown-ass man. And then Asha is like 18. This genuinely feels like Doctor Who without, like, when you think about it, this genuinely feels like Doctor Who because Asha feels like Obi's companion. Like, she has her own stuff going on. I just find Obi's life so much more interesting than that Asha's. I find Obi so much more funnier than Asha. I find Asha like quite, I don't want to say naive because I kind of do think that she is, but like very just like young. Like, she reads like she's 18, which I think is good, but it's just like I'm not used to reading a book and liking the male main character over the woman. But Obi is queer and he's black, so it's okay. He definitely feels like Doctor Who, but I forget his name, but the newer Doctor. He definitely feels like, I haven't watched it, but like I haven't watched his Doctor experience fully, but from the episode that I did see, like, they feel very similar, which I think Esme wrote a book for him, for that Doctor as well. And it doesn't feel like she's copying him. That's not what I'm saying at all. Like, this feels unique. It just like, this is exactly what I wanted. Like, I wanted something that felt like Doctor Who without copying it too much or feeling like fan fiction. And it just, as a high space opera with aliens and traveling places and doing things, and it just feels like a Doctor Who episode. Like, I cannot stress enough how much I am enjoying this and how much I appreciate how similar this is to Doctor Who. This is my last clip of the vlog. I think I'm probably gonna end this vlog with like an aesthetic clip because I really wanted like an afternoon clip of like my room. This is like when it's like getting darker but not like too dark. Like, it's just like the middle of the day feel. I love that time of day. Like, around, it's like 3 o'clock now or 4, so around this time, like, I love like around this time where it's like getting darker and it's actually really gloomy outside as well. Yeah, thank you for joining me. This vlog felt really long, but it was really fun, and I'll be starting next week's vlog tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be going live Sunday. I go live every Sunday for productivity sprints to do my homework. Yeah, hopefully when I come back tomorrow, I want to have finished Principle of Moments, and then I want to have read a little bit more of Theft of Swords. Like, I want to have read the first book in this series by the time I come back tomorrow. And then I haven't touched this book in so long. I really just want to read maybe even 50 pages of this. Like, I don't know, but I really want to focus on finishing the Principle of Moments, because having 4 books that I'm currently reading at the same time has almost put me into a reading slump. Like, having 3 books and then a book throughout the day definitely is doable for me, but having 4 books is just a little too stressful. So I don't think I'm gonna start Equal Rights, but I really want to. I might just jump into read like a chapter or so that because I don't want to not read this series. I need to finish the Principle of Moment because I'm enjoying all these books that I'm reading, but having 4 books to read at once, like having 4 main books reading, and then having a 5th book be the book that like I read, that 5th book has to be really short, and I don't want to keep having to finish really short books so I can finish, like, feel like I'm accomplishing anything. So I definitely want to make it through this book by tonight so that next week my main books are 3 books, and then I can get through my Black History Month TBR because I've only read 1 book off that so far. I need to start reading other series, so I need to start making my way through the series that I'm currently reading, and I've been putting other books that I'm reading on the back burner because I feel guilty. So even though this is a buddy read, like, I gave them a week, y'all. Like, I'm just gonna fly through this book. Like, I'm sorry, I don't know what to say. But yeah, that's it for this vlog. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.